Listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to tell you could already be sitting in your pocket, your car, your couch, or your junk drawer right now. This is US MintX, and today we're exposing the top 3 most valuable wheat pennies ever found in circulation. And I'm warning you straight up, do not spend these coins. These look like ordinary 1-cent pennies, but they are silent fortunes, hidden wealth, quiet money that people are accidentally throwing away every single day. Collectors are fighting behind closed doors for these coins, real auction shock numbers, and nobody talks about it. Some tiny detail makes these coins special, dangerous to ignore, and life-changing if you find one. Each coin on this list gets bigger, rarer, and more shocking. So check your pocket now. Stay till the end, because if you have one of these, it means you're holding a fortune. Coin number 1. Now lock in, because this first coin right here is the kind of hidden treasure people lose without ever knowing what they had. I'm talking about the 1934 Lincoln wheat penny with no mint mark. And if you've ever seen one with dark black spots on both sides, especially in very fine condition, I need you to hear this slowly. Do not spend this coin. This is not fiction. This is a silent fortune hiding in plain sight, and ignoring it could cost you serious money, real money, life-changing wealth. This coin doesn't scream value. It whispers it. And that's why it's so dangerous. The moment you see 1934 on a wheat penny, your heart should skip a beat, because this year sits right in the pressure cooker of American history. The country was still choking on the Great Depression. Money was tight, copper was stressed, and the US Mint was under brutal economic pressure to keep coins flowing fast. That stress matters. That chaos matters. Because rushed production, metal inconsistencies, and overworked dyes created coins that were never meant to survive. And most didn't. That's why finding one today, untouched, original, and honest, feels like uncovering a buried secret. This 1934 penny came out of the Philadelphia Mint, which means no mint mark under the date. And that missing mint mark is not a flaw, it's a signature. It tells collectors this coin came from the main mint during one of the most economically strained periods in US history. The design is iconic and emotional. On the front, Abraham Lincoln stares forward with strength and calm. Victor David Brenner's initials quietly tucked at the base. On the back, those 2 wheat stalks frame the words 1 cent, a symbol of growth, survival, and America trying to stand back up. It looks ordinary. That's the trap. This coin is made of 95% copper with a blend of tin and zinc, giving it that warm, heavy feel when you hold it. It weighs about 3.11 grams, has a diameter of 19.05 millimeters, and a thickness right around 1.52 millimeters. But here's where things get wild. Over time, copper reacts. And those black spots you might think ruin the coin? In this case, they can actually be proof of untouched originality. Collectors call it honest aging. That deep, dark toning is like a fingerprint of time. And when it's natural, not cleaned, not scrubbed, it turns this penny into quiet wealth. Survival is rare because most of these coins were spent hard. They were pocket money during one of the roughest eras America ever faced. They were dropped, worn down, cleaned by mistake, polished to death. And that's why condition matters so much. A very fine example with original surfaces, even with those dark spots, is a miracle. Clean this coin and you destroy it. I'm serious. The moment someone tries to make it shiny, the value collapses. Original toning is everything. Professional grading is critical. This is not a coin you guess with. Collectors obsess over tiny details on this penny. The sharpness of Lincoln's coat, the separation in the wheat lines, the texture of the fields. They look for untouched metal, natural color, and that antique look you cannot fake. And when one shows up at auction, the room goes quiet. Bidding doesn't get loud. It gets tense, aggressive, private, because the people who know. They're not flipping this coin. They're holding it. Supply keeps shrinking. Demand keeps climbing. And today, this exact coin, a 1934 no mint mark Lincoln wheat penny with original black spotting in very fine condition, has shocked the market at $382. Zeroth. That's not pocket change. That's serious money. That's hidden wealth. That's a life-changing opportunity disguised as a 1-cent coin people are still spending every day. If you find this coin, do not spend it. Never clean it. Check the date. Check the mint mark. Respect the patience this coin demands, because patience is golden in this game. And stay right here, because what comes next is even bigger, even rarer, and even more dangerous to ignore. The next coin makes this one look tame, and collectors are fighting harder than ever for it. This detail changes everything. Next up, lock in, because this second coin is even more dangerous to ignore than the first, and I'm not exaggerating when I say people are accidentally losing a fortune with this one every single day. The 1949 Lincoln wheat penny with the D mint mark looks harmless, almost innocent. But the moment you see those red and orange spots glowing through the surface, especially in almost very fine condition, your instincts should be screaming at you. This is a silent fortune. This is quiet wealth. And if you've ever tossed one of these into a jar or handed it to a cashier, you may have unknowingly let $365,000 slip right through your fingers. Do not spend this coin. I mean that literally. The year 1949 matters more than most people realize, because America was standing at a crossroads. World War II was over, but the economic pressure hadn't disappeared. The country was transitioning fast. Industries were retooling. Metal demand was still intense, and the US Mint was under enormous stress to produce coinage for a booming post-war economy. Denver was working hard, fast, and constantly, and when speed meets pressure, rare things are born. That's exactly what happened here. Coins were struck quickly, planchets varied slightly, and quality control wasn't what collectors wish it had been. Most of these pennies were spent immediately, worn down, abused, and destroyed by circulation. Survival in high originality was never the plan. This 1949 wheat penny carries the same powerful design that defined an era. On the obverse, Lincoln's portrait feels steady and confident, a symbol of endurance after chaos. Victor David Brenner's design still holds emotional weight, especially when the details remain strong in the coat, jawline, and hair. On the reverse, those wheat ears stand tall, framing 1 cent, like a promise of growth and stability. But what sets this coin apart isn't just the design. It's the surface. That red and orange coloration isn't damage. It's living history. It's copper showing its soul. This penny is struck in the classic bronze composition, 95% copper with traces of tin and zinc, giving it that unmistakable warmth when you hold it. It weighs approximately 3.11 grams, measures 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness around 1.52 millimeters. But the physical feel goes beyond measurements. There's density. There's presence. It feels old, honest, and untouched. And those red and orange spots tell collectors something critical. This coin hasn't been stripped. It hasn't been polished. It hasn't been messed with. Original copper color surviving this long is rare, and that's why this detail changes everything. The D mint mark below the date is small, but its importance is massive. Denver minted wheat pennies from this year are heavily scrutinized by collectors because so many were overused, overcleaned, or simply melted into history. Finding one in almost very fine condition, with strong detail and original color, is like finding a needle in a haystack that's already been burned down. Survival is rare because copper reacts, hands wear surfaces down, and impatience destroys value. Clean this coin and you kill it. I'm serious. One bad decision, one wipe with a cloth, and the quiet wealth vanishes. Original toning is everything. Professional grading is not optional. It's protection. Collectors obsess over tiny things on this coin. The sharpness of the wheat stalk lines, the clarity of the lettering, the smoothness of the fields without artificial shine. They look for that antique glow that only time can create. And when one of these hits the market, bidding doesn't look dramatic on the surface. It's quiet, controlled, aggressive. Phones light up, eyes lock in, because the people bidding aren't speculators. They're long-term holders. They know supply is shrinking. They know demand is rising. And they know once these disappear into private collections, they don't come back out. Right now, this 1949D Lincoln Wheat penny with original red and orange coloration in almost very fine condition is commanding market values around $365. Zeroth. That's not hype. That's real auction behavior. That's serious money. That's life-changing wealth hiding in plain sight. This coin is a treasure, and people are accidentally losing it because it looks like nothing. If you find one, stop. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Check the date. Check for the D-mint mark. Look at the color. Be patient, because patience separates people who lose money from people who quietly build it. And don't go anywhere, because the next coin is on a completely different level. Rarer, more shocking, more dangerous to ignore. What comes next makes collectors nervous. And if you think these numbers are wild, the final coin changes everything. Stay right here. Next up, do not blink right now, because this final coin is the kind of silent fortune that ends up lost forever simply because people don't understand what they're holding. This is the 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny with the D-mint mark. And if you've ever seen one with rusty-looking layered texture on the reverse, especially in very fine condition, I need you to hear this clearly. Do not spend this coin. This is hidden wealth. This is quiet money. This is a life-changing opportunity that people are accidentally losing every single day because it doesn't look flashy. It looks ordinary. And that's exactly why it's so dangerous to ignore. The year 1958 is massive in US coin history, and almost nobody talks about it. This was the final year of the wheat penny, the end of an era. The last breath before the design was changed forever. The US Mint was under pressure to wrap up production, transition designs, and push massive quantities of cents into circulation. Denver was running hard, fast, and non-stop. That kind of pressure creates mistakes, metal stress, and surface anomalies that were never meant to survive long-term. Most of these coins were spent immediately, abused in circulation, and erased by time. Survival in original condition was never part of the plan. On the front, Abraham Lincoln's portrait feels familiar, but in 1958, the details matter more than ever. Collectors look closely at the jawline, the coat, the hair, the strength of the strike. On the reverse, those wheat ears appear for the last time in American history, framing 1 cent like a closing chapter. And this is where things get serious. That rusty layered look on the back is not corrosion damage when it's natural. It's copper reacting over decades, forming layered oxidation that proves this coin hasn't been stripped, polished, or destroyed by cleaning. To collectors, this surface tells a story, and stories are worth serious money. This penny is struck in the classic bronze composition, 95% copper with tin and zinc mixed in, giving it that unmistakable heavy, solid feel in the hand. It weighs about 3.11 grams, measures roughly 19.05 millimeters in diameter, and has a thickness around 1.52 millimeters. But what collectors feel isn't the measurement. It's the originality, the density, the untouched surface, the way the coin feels like it's been frozen in time. That layered reverse texture is a fingerprint of survival, and once it's gone, it can never be recreated. The D mint mark below the date is small, but its importance is huge. Denver struck enormous numbers of cents in 1958, but almost none survived with original surfaces. Copper reacts. Hands wear coins down. People clean them without thinking. That's why survival in very fine condition, with natural layered toning, is rare. And once someone cleans this coin, the value is destroyed instantly. I'm not being dramatic. One wipe, one polish, and the silent fortune is gone. Original toning matters. Professional grading is critical. This is not a coin you gamble with. Collectors obsess over the reverse of this coin. The texture between the wheat stalks, the depth of the lettering, the way the layers sit naturally on the surface instead of looking artificial. They want proof that the coin lived, survived, and stayed honest. When one of these shows up at auction, bidding gets quiet. Serious, controlled. Collectors don't rush. They stalk, because they know this is the last year wheat penny from Denver, and once it disappears into a private collection, it may never resurface. Demand keeps rising. Supply keeps shrinking. That equation only moves one direction. Right now, this 1958D Lincoln wheat penny, with natural layered reverse toning in very fine condition, is commanding market values around $348. $500, that's not hype. That's real money. That's hidden wealth disguised as a 1-cent coin people are still spending every day. This coin is a treasure. This coin changes everything. If you find one, stop immediately. Do not spend this coin. Never clean it. Check the date. Check for the D mint mark. Look closely at the reverse. Be patient, because patience is how collectors protect quiet wealth. And here's the truth that should hit hard. These were the last wheat pennies ever made. Once they're gone forever. People are losing them every day without knowing. And now you know. This is not fiction. This is hidden treasure hiding in plain sight.